Hello there, Internet and you amazing creatures of the beyond. Welcome, welcome. So, how do we conceptualize ideas? I had a recent discussion with somebody, and we were brainstorming various topics. And one thing that came up, and I found quite interesting, is the way we organize these ideas. And for my friend, he uses a system where he writes everything down. But for me, it's much more easier to keep everything in my brain because somehow for me in my brain it's like another world that I can build up however I wish, and I work very easily with visualization. And there's nothing wrong with writing down things down or making your own system that is compatible with you. It's just that for me, when I have a very, very complex idea, well, it's pretty difficult to go back to the writing board and starting to interject these new things. So I could think of it sort of like this huge ball with tentacles. And every time I want to add a new idea to this grand project that I have in my mind, I have to introduce this tentacle in between the other tentacles. And they have to be compatible and they have to play nice with each other. They have to look okay, feel okay. So once you interject something, it has to become immersive with the whole story. And how do you usually do that? From my experience, I would say that if you build a very robust base that is very clear and very simple in its message, then it's rather easy to add new components to it. So let's invent a little story. Let's say there is a piggy who wants to build a house, but then he has an arch enemy, which is a wolf. And the wolf wants to bankrupt the piggy so he can get the money so he can build his own mansion because the wolf is greedy. So now you have two characters, one specific scope. One wants to build the house, the other one wants to steal the money from the pig so he cannot build the house. So he can use the money to do whatever his intentions are, in this case, build the mansion. But then let's interject new elements. So the piggy is in a village which other piggies exist. So he has two best friends, two other piggies, and they come to his aid. Now you have to think about it like what is the relationship between the piggies? Do they know each other for a very long time? Are they best friends? Do they have flaws? Do they complement each other? Can they work their arguments out and leave everything aside so they can focus on the project at task? It's a lot of little refined details, but the moment you have that robust, clear, and simple platform, it's like sockets, and it's so easy to put things around the main piggy to attract more piggies. And of course, the more actions and events and other characters that come along to develop the idea further, they will simply fit around these main pillars. And if you're losing the focus on the pillars, then the whole project kind of falls apart. So, thinking like in very simple steps, it's so easy to approach a very interesting idea that you can make as complicated as you wish. You can think of it sort of like the Rubik's Cube, the classical 3 by 3. So basically, for the Rubik's Cube, you have a certain amount of algorithms that you can use to solve the cube. But the bigger the grid grows, the more complicated the algorithm becomes. But at its core concept, it's the same algorithm of 3 by 3. You just have to add extra algorithms to solve the complexity of the bigger grid. But all of the algorithms work together in tandem, and they complement each other, and they fit in with each other like a puzzle. So you cannot have one without the other. That is very important. The pillars are the most important thing. That is where you build the story or the idea. And an idea should be like a story, because when you're presenting your idea to somebody, if it's not gonna sound appealing and it's gonna sound, I don't know, too systematic or mechanical, then nobody's gonna really feel attracted to it. But if you show your compassion to it, your desire to make something so magical, and you think of components that sound very, I don't know, empathetic in a way. Like, for example, when you're talking about a piggy, of course, I'm just paraphrasing and simplifying things here. But if I would say something about a piggy, I want the person that I'm relaying this information to kind of feel in the shoes of that piggy, to feel the oppression, because I want to relay events that people can easily identify with. And if you can see yourself in the shoes of the character, then it's much more easier for you to conceptualize the same idea as I am presenting it to you. So basically, I am kind of transferring the image I have in my brain into your brain wirelessly. Well, through mouth, of course, through grammar, I mean. And that's really amazing. So simplicity is the best approach, in my opinion. Now, if you're gonna build it via post notes, or you have your own diagrams, or you can actually do visualizations through what are they called? Like sort of these boxes of text, and you create lines between them. So you build a system that is very mutable and easy to integrate new things. That's also a very great approach. But try to keep things, as I said, the principal pillars should have everything built around them. And an idea can easily sprout and create interesting results for you, because what you think in your brain might not actually be the final result that you get when you put it in practice. And that's all right, because in your mind you might see things that you're some elements that you might be missing the point to them, and then when you actually get to work on them physically, you see that some things are not compatible, and you have to adapt new systems, or look at other models, existing models, and try to incorporate that into your existing creation, which is also not a bad thing. uh, Great ideas have always been possible by sharing and borrowing from other people who are willing to improve the future. And I know that you guys want to improve the future, because yeah, we live in the present, but we wish for a better future for future generations and so on. So if you have, let's say, a renewable energy idea, which might not be possible right now due to the technological limitations, or maybe because the budget is very strict and the materials cost a lot. For the future, if you just conceptualize the idea and put it in, uh, what's that word? Well, you copyright it, let's say, but you don't put strict copyright rules on it, and you allow people to use your work but just credit your initial work. That's still an amazing contribution to society and to the well-being of our species and to nature, inevitably, because the more we make technology not harm nature, the more nature gives us back, like fresh air, uh, better food, better soil, and stuff like that. So yeah, being zen and in tandem with nature is just amazing. And ideas can be anything you wish. Okay, guys. Thank you for hearing me ramble about my crazy little ideas. Hope you are having a fantastic time, and catch you next time. Stay awesome. Bye. Bye, 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 bye.